Welcome to SAT prep session. The topic for today, SAT practice question is graphing system of inequalities, which is a complex topic. So I have given two inequalities and the graph is drawn here, and then the answer choices are given below. And the question is, which section of the graph could represent all of the solution to the system? Now, these kind of questions are deceiving. When you look at the graph, you could pick up wrong choices. So I highly recommend to regraph them so you could find the right solution. So I'm going to regraph this system. When I start graphing it, I notice the inequalities are not given into slope-intercept form, which I should first convert into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to rewrite my inequality and do the inverse step to convert them into slope-intercept form. So here, let's subtract x from both sides to bring to the right, which is going to give us positive and negative cancel out. So you have negative y less than negative x minus 2. And then you're going to divide by negative 1 to make it positive. And the rule is when you divide with the negative sign, it's going to impact our inequality sign, because if you divide by negative sign, inequality sign flips and it's going to become greater than. So new inequality is going to be y is greater than, no, negative divided by negative gives you also positive. It's going to be positive x plus 2. So now we are ready to write. It's invisible positive sign. You really don't have to write it down. Just making sure for clarity purpose I put it there. So slope for this inequality sign is going to be 1 over 1. Rise is 1 and run is 1. And slope of this line is going to be positive 2. So let's start graphing first, and then we are going to decide about shading. So my y-intercept is 2 here, so I should put the first dot right here on 2, and then I'm going to go 1 up, 1 to the right. I go 1 up and 1 to the right, going up 1, 1 to the right. I could do the same technique by going backward, 1 down, 1 to the left, 1 down, 1 to the left, 1 down, 1 to the left, 1 down, 1 to the left. And now I have to connect those dots, but it's very important to ask one question. Is my boundary line is going to be solid or dotted? So let's make sure we clear this thing. Since inequality sign has no equal sign, so boundary line is going to be dotted. Other things, since it's a greater sign, we must shade above the line. So we are going to write these two things, shade above the line. And the type of boundary line is going to be dotted line. So carefully with the straight edge ruler, we are going to connect those dots with the dotted line right there. You could just make sure they are not solid, they are connecting. I could put actually without ruler dot in the middle. That makes my type of line clear. So here it's time to connect them. It's a time to shade it. So we did already decide we are going to shade above the line. Since the sign is greater than, so we are going to shade all over this. If you have a colored pencil, it would make things a little bit clear. If you color them in two shades. That way you will see your solution area very clearly for overlapping shading. Now we have a graph over one of the inequality. We have done halfway. Let's pick up the second one, which is x plus y is greater than or equal to 1. So to solve this, we are going to subtract 1 from both sides, basically converting into slope-intercept form. Y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 1. Now in this, my slope is going to be negative 1 over 1. Right here, invisible negative 1. And b is 1. Let's decide about the type of the line. Since we have equal sign and an inequality sign, the type of line is going to be this time solid, like this. And we are going to shade above the line. Shade above the line for greater sign. These important things should be decided before we graph our boundary line. So we are ready to graph basically at this point. I'm going to look for my y-intercept, which is on positive 1 right here. And then I'm going to go, slope is going 1 down, 1 to the left, right. So I go 1 down, 1 to the right. I go 1 down, 1 to the right. I go 1 down, 1 to the right. 1 down, 1 to the right, 1 down, 1 to the right, 1 down, 1 to the right. And I'm going to go backward, going 1 up, 1 to the left, going 1 up, 1 to the left, up 1, 1 to the left. And since we decided the type of line is going to be solid this time, so pick up a ruler and draw bold solid line. Shading part, we also decided it's going to be above the line, mean on this part of your line, the green line. So let me do shading in a different color. Let me pick up. And I graph, I shade above all this green line. So looking at overlapping area, which is right here, right here, on this green line, right there, on the top of this green line and this. Now let's see what kind of coordinate falls. Okay, we have written section, but section 1 is here, right? Section 1 has only one color, which is pink. Section 2 is right, section B is right there, which has overlapping area. Section C is right there, and section D is right at the top. Now our solution set is only in the area where two colors overlap, they mix up. If you are not using colored pencil, you will see the area will be overlapping. So you could see clearly pink and orange are mixing here. So answer choice is section D. Now, as earlier I talked, the graph they are given by SCT, they could be the same. So we must redraw them. Some people could go for these looks, double shaded area and the darker area. Sometimes it could be deceiving. So I highly recommend you guys to regraph and then decide about the solution. I hope you enjoy the session. Keep on trying hard. See you guys next time.